Hi everybody, Chris Stokes from Custom Fitness Personal Training Studio, and today we're talking about getting some useful versus non-useful information and kind of being able to distinguish between the two. What do you do? So it seems like everywhere you turn around, every search that you make, you end up finding somebody that is talking about their idea and their opinion of how things should go and what would work best for your particular situation and the goals that you're wanting to reach and those kinds of things. Really, if you Google online or search online for a healthy diet or a nutrition plan for fat loss or a nutrition plan for muscle building, you're going to find somebody that looks the part, that looks like they have achieved the results that you want, and they've got this great plan and it works for everybody and pay for it now and it goes into your account. And that sounds great, except for a lot of the advice that you get is way too generic or way too detailed, and we've got to kind of figure out what the difference is and what it is that you're looking for. So my personal approach is to teach foundations, to teach things that have been researched and science-based and focused on for many, many years to where it makes sense. But not to where we're going off the deep end with one idea or the other. There's a lot of people that have been watching different stimuli. And so what we want to look at is kind of, are we getting too generic of information? So the generic would be when you go to somebody and you say, what should I eat? And they say, just eat healthy. It's way too generic. It's hard to pick and choose. I mean, there's, organic, is organic healthy? Well, not always, but kind of. And, are vegetables always healthy? And, are frozen vegetables versus canned vegetables and all those things, and eating healthy, do I really need all those things, or can I just eat fruit because that's healthy, and how much of that should I eat? So we've got to make sure that we have some sort of a plan, but the problem then becomes that you jump from generic into way too detailed and somebody handing you a meal plan and saying these are the things that you're going to eat for the next few days. Now, obviously there's some medical situations where that's necessary, but for the most part, think about it. If you walk into a stranger's office and they hand you a meal plan that says you're going to eat XYZ for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and they give you, say, a 6-week, 12-week meal plan, chances are you're not even going to want to eat or like about half of those foods or possibly more. And if that's the case, it goes out the window right away. Or it's things that really don't fit into your lifestyle, things you don't know how to cook or prepare or where to buy, and so then again it goes out the window. So we don't want to push ourselves too far beyond our means, but we do need to move from where we're at because we can't continue doing the same thing that we're doing all the time and achieve change. Instead, we would achieve the same thing that we've already got. So we need to be able to progress without causing kind of a paralyzed fear over these new foods and ideas of foods that maybe we don't like or can't stand to eat. So we want to make sure and find that balance. So how do you find that balance? Well, first of all, you want to make sure that whatever you're doing nutritionally and even exercise-wise, that you can fit it into your life rather than force it into your life. So here on a personal note, with my clients, we're going to work through, with our clients, we're going to work through ways to add things in step by step, little pieces at a time, maybe ways that we can try new foods or try new exercises, and how we can fit that into our schedules to make it work for us. If you try to take something, a full plan, and you force it in expecting it to be perfect, you've just added a huge chunk to your life, and it's almost like getting married overnight to somebody that you don't know. And then you're trying to figure out what on earth to do with that person and how to make it work. So the same idea applies whenever you take the idea of nutrition or exercise and you try to force it into your life. Instead, we've got to find a way to fit it in. So we want to find a plan that easily fits into what you're already doing, or that we can find ways to fit that plan in piece by piece. Okay, so that's step one. Step two is it has to work for everybody involved, which means that if you're at home with your family, it has to work for the entire family. If you're living the single life, then it's just got to work for you. It's a little bit easier there. But if you've got other people involved that you're feeding, that you're moving around from place to place, that you're exercising beside or in between their activities and things like that, you've got to be able to fit that in to where it works with the family structure rather than forcing it so that you feel guilty when you can't get it in. So we want to try to make sure that the workouts, that the nutrition, that it's all things that work together for the family, meaning that one parent doesn't have to fix food for themselves and then fix an entire other meal for the rest of the family, because that's not realistic. It's not going to last very long. If you do it for a little while, you'll get burned out on it very quickly. It usually does not last more than a few weeks because you just get tired, and especially with school starting in the fall, there's just not enough time to do all that sort of thing. So we want to make sure food fits for the whole family, exercise fits within the family's schedule. Maybe the whole family's not exercising yet, but we want to make sure that it does fit within their schedule so you're not forcing things on that end either. So that's number 2. Number 3 is that it includes all the essentials that you need. So if it's exercise, it includes your strength, your flexibility, your balance, your cardiovascular, every part of the body that needs to be worked, every physiological part as well as every body part needs to be included in that workout. If it's nutrition, it needs to contain all the essential food groups, pieces of nutrition, all of the essential nutrients, vitamins and minerals and things that you need in your diet. So a lot of people, case in point, are vegetarians, supposedly, but the problem is that they don't actually eat a ton of vegetables. They actually reduce their meat intake but don't increase their vitamin intake and their mineral intake, and so that which they lose in their meat from their protein all the way up to their vitamins and minerals, then we don't tend to replace throughout the rest of the meal with more vegetables and other sources of proteins. So most of your other sources of proteins, in case you don't know, a good majority of those are plant-based vegetables. So we do want to make sure that we've got all the essential nutrients, whatever type of eating you're doing, if it's vegan, if it's vegetarian, if it's gluten-free, dairy-free, whatever it may be, that it's got everything that you need. So that's where it's nice to be able to consult with a professional and make sure that you've got the right things on hand, rather than getting online where you could search and say, does this have this? And you could find yes, and you could also find no, and information saying that yes, that is the truth. So it's really kind of hard to decipher sometimes online what is the truth and what's not. So having a professional kind of step in to help you sort through those things and to simplify the process is definitely a great thing. And simplification is really what Custom Fitness does. We not only customize a plan to you, again, being able to find a way to fit it into what you're already doing, make it work for your whole family, and make sure that we include all the essentials, but we also simplify that process so that it doesn't feel so overwhelming. So that whenever you step into this as a new client, there are ways to be able to simplify this and make it work for you without getting that paralyzed fear factor. So if you'd like more information on that, or would like to set up a free consultation, feel free to give us a call, 322-3188, or put a message below, and we'll be happy to get back to you. I hope you guys have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.